Today we're going to be doing a demonstration on basic braids. I'm going to start with single braiding, showing you the techniques, coming back, and then we'll work those basic braids into a basic French braid to show you a more advanced technique, like we've done here on this side of Crystal's head. So what we'll do is we'll start on this side, and I'm going to show you how to do a basic sectioning for each individual braid, and we'll repeat that several times so that you get the hang of it and see different areas of the head and different thicknesses of the hair. So initially you're going to start wherever you're going to be, whether you put it in a ponytail or you're doing several different braids as we've done here. You're going to start with a simple sectioning and comb it free of tangles. And then you're going to section this piece that you've pulled up and separated out into 3 individual sections. You want those sections to be as even in amount of hair as possible, because it will make the braiding as you go down the braid, it'll keep it more even. So now that you have 3 equal sections of hair, what we're going to do is do basic braiding. So I'm going to hold it up to show you how it's going to go, and then I'll turn it around and show you in a different angle. So you're basically going to go over and hold here. Now you have this one, and then you're going to bring this one over. Now you've got a crisscross here. Now your bottom piece is going to come over those pieces. So this is held at a different angle so you can see how it's going around. Everything comes over from the outside to the inside. Every single time, no matter what you're doing, you're going from the outside to the inside, crossing over the one next to it. So now these 2 pieces are side by side, this one and this one. So we're going to take this one on the outside and cross it over to the inside. Now I'm going to hold the hair down this way, come around here to the camera, have Crystal hold her head here, and I'm going to show you here the way this is happening. So now I've been telling you from the outside, cross over that center piece to the inside, and you're going to hold this piece out here. I usually grab this piece with these fingers and hold the piece here with my index finger and thumb. That's going to allow me this finger to be free to hold what we've just done and crisscross this over. So it's just however I use my middle fingers to grab the piece that I just put on top from underneath, so that I can take the outside over to the inside. So you're coming down like that. So this is your basic braiding technique, outside to inside, outside to inside. That's how you're doing a basic braid, outside to inside, the whole way down. Now remember, when you're doing a basic braid, you don't have to be super tight. You can be loose, it can be however you want it to be as you come down the hair shaft. You have this nice braid, okay? Then you just put a band on the end. I'm going to spin Crystal back this way. The chair got away from us. And we're going to put, I'm just using clear bands today so that it doesn't take away from her hair, and as we braid it up together, you're not going to see it as much, and it's not going to take away having different pops of color in there. So we have this one single braid from those 3 sections. Just going to lay it across here, just so it's out of the way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the next section, and that just fell right back down. I'll show you from the side. We're going to take, and I'm going to come straight up with this section of hair Okay, what I'm going to do is this section of hair I'm going to section into 2 pieces that it will be 2 braids. And then we'll braid these 2 individually. Okay, so again, showing you from the top, section it into 3 even pieces. As you can see here, they're basically even amounts of hair. Okay, I'm going to have Crystal tip her hair down, and I'm going to show you coming from this direction how you get it started. Okay, so here you have your 3 sections of hair, and you're going to start coming from the outside to the inside. Okay, and I grab underneath with my middle finger, outside to inside, outside to inside. See, that gives my index finger and thumb. I grab the piece that I'm going over, so I can grab that last piece with my middle finger, outside to inside. It's basic. And your hands may not work the same way mine does. You just have to find what works best for your hands. And just go slow. You don't have to be fast. You can go slow and just practice, because braiding is one of those things you can't do it once and say, oh, I've got it, and then go on. You've got to practice it. Practice makes perfect. So see, we finished that braid. And we'll put the band on it. And you're just twisting it around like you would doing a ponytail folder. And it doesn't have to be super tight. Now these little bands like this, if they don't slide off very easily, you're going to want to just kind of snip them. Just be careful not to snip your own hair. So we'll come from the side, and I'll show you a side view of doing this. 3 even sections. Okay. Going to take a little more to this piece. Okay, so what we're going to do is outside to inside. That's all this does. Coming all the way down.
Does it matter if you go left over right or right over left?
It doesn't matter which direction you start, as long as you're coming over the top. It's just a basic braid. Now, if you want to just go underneath, if it's easier for your hands when you're doing a basic braid, to go underneath, to take it under instead of over, you can do that as well. It doesn't matter, just a basic braid. As long as you're taking from outside to inside, it doesn't matter which side you start going from or which direction you go with, as long as you continue the way that you start. Thank you for that question.
Mm-hmm. So does it make a difference, like if you're doing it into a French braid after you've braided it?
No. When you're doing it into a French braid afterwards, a French braid, you're always going to come over the top. That's what makes it a French braid.
Right.
If you take it going underneath, that makes it a Dutch braid. So that's the biggest difference between a French braid and a Dutch braid, or what most people call a cornrow. Mm-hmm. Is whether if you go over or under.
Gotcha.
So what I'll do is I'll demonstrate in this section. I'm going to section this part into 2 as well. We'll push this up here, comb through with my fingers. I'll demonstrate here going under rather than over for the basic braid. So you're still going to get your 3 even partings here, 3 sections of hair even. Okay, so I've been showing you going over like this. So what I'm going to show you now is you can come under with it instead of going over with it. So it's outside to inside the same way, but instead of going over, you're coming under. Let me turn your head here. Mm-hmm. So you're going under. And see, and in that aspect, I just grab differently because that's how my hands work. But you're just coming under instead of over. Now, you'll see here, this section is starting to get a little thin. So what I do is I just took a little bit of hair from this section this piece here to fill it in. So here, you're going under. You know, when you're doing this, it's a little more challenging to watch yourself in the camera braid than it is to watch the braid, but I want to make sure that my hands aren't blocking the technique. And you can go down as far as you would like. Okay?
Do you want me to hold those?
Last section, and then I'll show you how to make this all into a French braid. So here's our last section of hair. We're going to take 3 even partings. Okay. We have our 3 even partings. Okay. And then once again, I'll show you the under instead of over. So I'm going under rather than over, but it's still outside to inside. It's a basic braid. I know those of us who had Barbies when we were growing up, it was one of those things that we loved to braid our Barbie hair. I will tell you that my daughter, my youngest daughter, decided that one day when I was in hair school that her Barbie needed micro braids. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's this, what I'm doing right here, in little bitty tiny sections that are about the width of a pencil lead on a Barbie, relatively speaking. And she wanted it all over her Barbie's head. So what did Mom do? Barbie got micro braids. So I will tell you, that was one of the best practices that I ever had doing braids. Just your basic braid. Now, for those of you who have daughters that you want to practice this on, I recommend sitting down in front of their favorite TV show and giving them a treat and letting them watch, or giving them, you know, something to do with their hands, just so that they're occupied. Okay, so on this side of Crystal's head, what we've done is a basic French braid going over the top. So what I'm going to do over on this side, I'm going to demonstrate that very thing.
Do I need to
So,
deck my hand? Do I need to deck my hand?
no, you're fine. Okay. So I'm going to come to the side here to show you what we're doing. So we're taking our first 3 sections, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to start our basic braid. Over French braid, we're going over the top from outside to inside. So now, when you're French braiding, the next thing you do, and doing it this way with braids is to show you an easier way so you're not getting confined with all the hair picking up sections. I'm going to pick up this braid and add it to this braid here. So see, now I've got 2 braids in my hand, and I'm going to come over the top of that braid. I'm going to hold this. Now I'm going to pick up this braid and add it to that one. Oh, excuse me, my nose itches. And then bring it over the top. So it's still the same exact technique coming outside to inside, except with every section I'm picking up an extra piece to add to making that piece I'm holding thicker. Okay, so now I'm going to bring her around this way so you can see as I'm picking up here. I'm going to pick up this next braid, add it to this piece, and it's going to come over the top. There's the piece from the other side, and I'm going to grab that piece. So now I can hold this piece here, and I'm going to pick up the next braid. So see here, I'm picking up this braid, and I'm putting it in here. And I'm going to take it, it's gone over, now it's to the inside. Now here's the next piece that's going to be added to. So I'm going to pick up this braid from here, add it to this pieces of braid here, and I'm going to come over and take these pieces from the other side so that I'm holding. Okay, so now I've got these pieces of braid and I'm picking up the next one. This one here is being added into these here. So now you see I've got all these represented sections of hair that now become one. So I'm going to pick those up over from outside to inside. Okay, so now I have this last braid here that's going to be picked up. This last braid is going to be picked up and added to this piece. So now I'm just going to continue with my basic braid technique to braid all of these braids together. Okay? So there's a basic braid of braids. Okay, I'll put a band on this. Now the braids that I've done, if you want to do this technique to finish off, you can do thick braids. If you have super thick hair, do 3 or 4, 2 braids on each side, however, coming down, and you can make this as intricate or as simple as you would like it to be. And for those of you who have daughters that play ball, this is an easy way to do their hair so that it's up and it is braided, but you're not worrying about those little pieces flying away while you're playing ball. And then what you can do from here is you can take and you can pull this together in a ponytail, or you can just twist it, or what you can do is you can take and you can tie it, okay? And then what you'll do is you'll take the ends like this and you can make a bun. If you don't have to worry about bobby pins, or if you want something a little more fun, a little fancier to go, throw a few bobby pins in that, and you have a finished off updo for something fancy. If you a night out, an afternoon at the lake or at the park, there you go. That's a new fun, that's a different way that you can finish it off. Just like that. I'll pick this up and give you a more close-up view of what we did here. That's the finished, coming around. Yep, there's that side. And coming back around. There's this side. And I'll turn you back. We'll take this part down and I'll show you the basic finished braids. Just like that. All right, everyone. That's the braiding lesson for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on this post, and I will get back to you as quickly as possible. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.